Okay, folks, can you hear me? While I'm doing this today, I'm attempting again the YouTube streaming, and it's so goofy because, as far as I know, I should be receiving an invite, and I'm not getting it. So I'm trying to figure out why I didn't. Let me just see if I got it somewhere else. In other words, I should be getting an invite to the room because I'm a member. Okay. I did get it on my phone, but not on my computer. Interesting. Okay. Did get it on my phone, but not on my computer. Anybody that has YouTube and got an invitation, if you want to go to YouTube and see if you can chat to me, I would love it. Anybody that has YouTube? It's so delayed. What a pain. So I just haven't had time to go from on my computer. Let me see if I can do it. You shouldn't be able to see me. All you should be able to see is charts, David, right? You can see the charts. Is that correct? I'm so frustrated. I could explode. That's the truth. Because there's no one to get help from. I mean, I can see my chat, right? And I can type the chat. No, you know what, David? It's delayed. I'm watching it on my phone. It's delayed like 3 seconds. That's the problem. It's delayed for 3 seconds. So I have my sound turned off. But what's funny is my phone says I can chat. And I sent myself a chat, but I don't see it in my stream, on my YouTube stream. So I don't know. I give up. I totally give up. Anyway, a little bit frustrating trading. If we just want to talk about trading for a second, it's always frustrating if you accidentally, it's not even accidental, it's frustrating if you trade the wrong instrument for whatever reason. I mean, the NQ on the FOMC was the only instrument that just barely by a nanosecond would have been filled. And my setup on the NQ would have filled and hit the first target. And then, honestly, the way I would have traded it today, it would have reversed and stopped me out for like maybe $100, not even a small positive trade. The bonds don't fill. They just don't fill. Okay. So there's no point in even looking at bonds anymore as a trap trade on the FOMC. They do not fill on a regular basis now. I've just tested them enough. I wanted to trade bonds today because when you look at the 30-year bond trade yesterday, holy crow, it moved like 8 ticks in a nanosecond. So, there was the possibility that bonds might be an excellent trade today. So that's why, and the NQ was making new lows. It looked quite dangerous. So, you make a decision, but it's still frustrating. And we're up today. I mean, we're not having a bad day. We're up. WASD was the second frustration. WASD again was late. And I know that WASD sometimes is late. And I thought I was prepared for that, but I wasn't. And it's not that I made a mistake. After 15 seconds, I was prepared to cancel the trade because I knew it was late. I could tell by the lack of movement. And then the minimal movement of the release of the minimal movement of the reaction made me cancel the trade. And then the second I canceled it, I was left in the trade with one contract because I canceled it at exactly the moment that I got filled, which was not a problem. I happened to be on the right side of the trade. But the frustration, again, frustration number two is that had I not canceled, it would have been an awesome trade. Instead of just making one tick of profit, I probably would have made 10 on 3 contracts. So it's frustrating sometimes. I'm just expressing my frustration. That's all. And just, you try to do the right thing all the time as the moderator. And it can sometimes be extremely frustrating. The PPI trade tomorrow, Enrico, had a good trade in September. And it really hasn't had a decent trade more than it made $50 in July. We simmed it in August. I have to look up October. Let me set the end of the day trade up so we don't forget to watch it. We do have a live Australia trade tonight, so I will be trading that live tonight. Let me just set this up the way I always do. So my end of the day trade, I'll load the template. Which one do I want to load? Joe, A, B, 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 B. 3 contracts, manual trail. All right. 2 contracts for 7 ticks, 1 contract open. I'm just trying to think if I just want to let it go for 15. Let's do that today. I'm not going to. Oh, let's trail it. That's really the way it should be traded. So 2 contracts for 7 ticks, 1 contract for no ticks, 12 tick stop, bracket is 7, 1 minute chart, breakout trade, entry time 15:50:02. So obviously, I'm assuming a few people are on the YouTube channel and they tried chatting with me and they can't. 15:50:02, bracket is 7, 2 contracts for 7 ticks, 1 contract for open. I will move my stop if I get the opportunity. I mean, I will get the opportunity. NG, Enrico, I trade every single week. I trade it every week. And it has been not hugely profitable, but it's been profitable since April, I believe. Since April. Do you mean this end of the day trade? No, NG. The problem with NG is the losses are too big. I'm trying to, it's the same issue we're having with oil. NG, when you have a target of 7 and a target of, like, look at today. Look at today. I mean, if you look at today's NG trade, it exactly went 7 ticks and 10 ticks, right? So I didn't really leave anything on the table, but you have to risk. I mean, maybe you don't have to risk 12 ticks. Maybe our stop is too big. Maybe it's possible to trade natural gas these days with an 8-tick stop. That would change things quite a bit. Because then our stop would be the same size as our loss. I think that might be possible with natural gas. I don't think it's possible with oil. I think oil, the only way to win with oil is to trade upside down on the reports. Although the API report, you don't have to trade upside down. You can have a 29 tick target and a 19 tick stop, as long as you have the right size bracket also. But you're not always going to hit that 29 tick stop, and you have to respect that and understand that with that trade. But natural gas is better than 50-50, but the problem is our stop, based on the way natural gas is moving, is bigger than the first target, and sometimes the second target. Really, stops 12, and look at today, it didn't even go 12 ticks of profit. It went 10. It went 7 and 10. So it's a conundrum with natural gas and oil. I think oil has to be changed to just a reversal trade, honestly, or a tiny bracket trade where you'll take, 5 ticks for 2 contracts and get the reversal. I mean, ultimately, the oil trade is better as a reversal than it is as a bracket trade, I think. I really think so. So, but we're going to have to practice doing it and check it and do it. We're going to have to see it. But this week, it would have worked. It was a 1 target. Enrico, you got 1 target out of the bracket. And that was a little disappointing because it was after 2 stops. I would call it a winner this week, but it had 2 stops, so I would trade it next week. If I were trading it normally, I would trade it as a bracket trade next week, but I'm probably going to do it as a reversal trade from now on. I think that's the way I want to trade oil, because I think that's the better trade. I just think it's the better trade. It's the markets are constantly changing. I don't have to tell you that. They're constantly changing. They don't stay the same. That's why this trade, Enrico, you asked about this trade. Why'd we change this trade? We changed this trade because you can't trade an automated system at 1349.58. No software can do it. If it can, show me the software. I'll buy it. I will buy it. The move is too ferocious, and it will not. I mean, if you have a move that in sim gives you errors, or that can't even get your targets. I've never seen trades where I couldn't get my targets until we started trading this at 58. But now that we've put it on 02, it really seems to be quite manageable, and it seems to be working on a regular basis. So ultimately, the only ultimate test, obviously, is live. And I'm just, when I'm going through a period of a little bit of struggling, I want my major trades. I want to take my major trades and get my trading back on track. And then I'll do what I call the untested trades. Like this one is still untested. But when my regular stuff is working great, then I'm more apt to trade this live. Okay. And today we had 2 good trades, took 2, made 2. One didn't fill. One was a lousy trade, even though it made a tick. I don't think I did anything wrong. It was just a little bit of bad luck on it. And, sometimes luck, there's nothing you can do. Sometimes luck comes into play. And that is, and sometimes, you just trade the wrong instrument and there's no choice. There's no way around it. It's nobody's fault. It just is what it is. It happens. When you have multiple hires, look, somebody could have traded soybeans and got stopped out big time. Somebody could have traded corn and done better. That's just part of trading. You're not always going to trade the same index for every piece of news. That's just part of it. Sometimes you'll get the right index, sometimes you won't. But it's still frustrating. I mean, that's the point. I'm feeling a little bit frustrated because WASD could have been way better. But the frustration was the fact that I knew it was going to cancel, that it was going to possibly go longer than our 10-second cancel because it's done it more than once, more than 3 times. And then it just responded really weirdly. So it happens. It happens. So let's see what this one does today. Do I have time to record it? Let me try. Maybe not. We'll see. Might just barely get it in. Yeah, we got a minute. We'll make it. This one I like to record because it can be ferocious even at 1550.02. It could be ferocious. But it hasn't been for the last couple of days. It's been a little bit slow. So PPI, Enrico, if you don't leave until you remind me to check last month's. I don't remember offhand what last month did. I don't think it was very impressive because my feeling about PPI is it hasn't been that great. It's been worth trading, but it definitely has gone through a less exciting period. All right, let's see what happens. So look, again, it's a slow fill, right? This is like 3 out of 6 out of 5, maybe. But my gut feeling is let's let them fill and let's see what it does. Because it's still, there was, you could see there's still the move right before the 02. That 4 seconds before. But this is the slowest I've ever seen. That's the slowest I've ever seen. And it went right down. So you move your stop to break even. If you get stopped out, that's just tough. So you get stopped out. So the decision, again, gonna have to make a decision in your life if you want to turn a winner into a loser by not moving the stop, or take your $70 and wait for the next day to get your trail. Okay, that's the decision. I can't make that decision for you. I can only make that for myself. I didn't have to move my stop. If I had not moved my stop, I would have turned a winner into a loser today. You could see it. It's going up now. We were short. Okay. But there will be plenty of days where it'll do the opposite. There's not even any reason to look at that trade again. I don't think. Let me give you all the invite for this evening's trade, if you don't mind. You might as well come. It's at 7 o'clock. The trade's at 7:30. It's one of those rare ones. So I have not even traded it very often because it's one of those trades when I used to never be available on a Thursday night. This trade was often a Thursday night trade. So besides being rare, I don't even recall ever trading it. Maybe once. So it's a mystery trade. I mean, I'll test it, but it's still somewhat of a mystery, which is fine. I mean, it's an Australian quarterly report, so it has potential to do something. And it's a monetary policy statement kind of report. And those reports seem to be coming back to life a little bit. All right. So, Enrico, I was going to check that one thing real quick. If you have the time, you got the time or no? It'll only take a second. I can tell you in 1 second. Let me just pull it up. So it was on 1010 PPI last month. I'm guessing it was either a stop or a tiny move. PPI, no fill last month. So ironically, we simmed it in August. It was an excellent trade in September, no fill in October, $50 in July. And then I hate to say it, it hasn't had a good trade since January to July. So it's certainly not a big winner. All right. But with these markets, PPI could move the market. It could have a reaction because the markets are very sensitive right now, I think. I think they're very sensitive. So I'm turning off my